After not signing Youri and Timber, Manchester United have switched their attentions to Lisandro Martinez, who Ten Hag has known for 3 years. Arsenal could return with another bid, as there is reportedly going to be a battle, a head-to-head between Manchester United and Arsenal Football Club for the signing of the very talented young defender in Lisandro Martinez. We're going to delve into this story in a little bit more detail, give you the chance to phone in and have your say. Make sure you're leaving your comments below right now. Make sure you're smashing the like buttons. We've also got an update for you on the Gabriel Jesus situation, including the take of course, the brilliant Fabrizio Romano. This is the Done Deal Show. Smash the like button, as I say. Let's do this. This is potentially a very, very interesting deal indeed. For all the same very reasons that Arsenal were praised for chasing Lisandro Martinez last week, Man United deserve the same credit for. A highly talented, young, but 24 years of age. So not at the back end of his career, but not also a fledgling either. Experienced, technically gifted, versatile, can play the left or right side of the centre-back positions, as well as left-back as well. And also played a few games in a defensive midfield role at times as well. So technically proficient on the ball isn't an issue. And what's really intriguing about this, and I want to kind of delve into this story in a bit more detail, is the breakdown of what Man United are looking for. Now, we all know about the Youri and Timber situation. The reason that he has decided to not join Man United, in fairness, I'm kind of glad, really. It demonstrates, and he isn't ready for a move to a league and a club the size of Man United. He was advised by Louis van der Gaal that if he wasn't playing regular first-team football, he wouldn't be going to the World Cup. If Youri and Timber doesn't fancy himself good enough to oust some of our Lindelof or Maguire, then he isn't ready for Manchester United at this moment in time, in my opinion. But what Manchester United are looking to move on and do, I'm going to show you here what was said, is that Arsenal informed Ajax they were willing to pay 30 million euros for Martinez. That bid was rejected. Manchester United must dig much deeper than that. Of course, there's no point us bidding 30 million euros if it's already been rejected. Ajax will have a decision to make. They will only sell if there's an offer that they cannot refuse. Now, that comes from Mike. I think you pronounce his name. I put it through Google Translate. It's pronounced
Mike Vervey.
Vervey. Sorry, there it is. I was saying it very differently. Mike Vervey, one of the most credible Dutch journalists out there, has iterated that it's going to take a big bid. It's going to take a big bid. Now, United were prepared to pay around 40 to 45 million pounds for Youri and Timber. So you would expect, if we are in the market for a centre-back, and it does really appear that Erik Ten Hag wants this kind of Ajax DNA. I feel like players that play for Barca, players that play for Ajax, that tends to be the type of talent profile that he's looking for. And of course, there's no better shopping ground than people that are at those clubs already. Possession-based football, you can almost bet your bottom dollar that total football is what he's going to try and bring to Man United, or a 2022 version of that. Of Lisandro Martinez, I'm never going to sit here and proclaim to be an expert. I looked at him when Arsenal were heavily linked to him at the back end of last week. And Arsenal are still heavily linked to him, by the way. The Arsenal were still the front runners. Fabrizio Romano here, as you can see, has stated that Arsenal will push again for Lisandro Martinez. He's a top target for Arsenal, as revealed by David Ornstein. Ajax turned down €30 million opening offer. Gabriel Jesus, we'll get onto that in a little bit later on in the show. So he's very much a priority for Arsenal. Now that Manchester United involved, we may get for the first time this summer a genuine battle between two clubs. And what I mean by that is Liverpool coming in for a Man United target in this era isn't a battle. Liverpool are title contenders. They've been Premier League and European champions recently. They nearly won a quad last year. The squad is in fantastic shape. One of the best managers in the world, proven. It's a different battle. Man United and Arsenal going for the same players, I think, is a little bit more balanced in many ways. Fred here says, Terry, I disagree. I think Timber has been put in a horrible position by LVG, poor management. Listen, I don't agree. LVG is kind of suggest. A lot of people think LVG is having a dig at the Man United situation. I necessarily don't. If Urian Timber fancies himself to play regularly at Man United, if he comes in and plays well, he'll play regularly. I don't really get what the issue is. This is a player, I think, I actually think he's probably making a sensible decision. I've been very open and very consistent. Renato Sanchez moved too young. João Felix moved too young. There are many examples of players doing well at a young age. And they make a big move to a bigger club too early in their career. Have another year. Have another year playing regularly. Almost guaranteed first team football pending form, and then make that move. He just isn't ready right now. Arsenal need him as backup. United need him as first team. If United overpay, we will not get dragged into a bidding war for a backup. I do like the narrative there that if Man United overpay, we remember Arsenal are going in with a second bid themselves. I don't think it's going to be about overpaying or underpaying. I think it's going to be about the overall package. And yes, Man United will maybe offer more wages because we're richer than Arsenal. Arsenal do pay more of their turnover in wages than Man United do by about 10%, I believe. That you're in sort of the mid-60s. We're in the mid-50s. So between 8 to 10 million. So Arsenal paid a lot of money out for players as well. You're tracking towards spending £200 million this summer if you land all your targets. This will come down to who offers the best package from a footballing point of view. Of course, the Ten Hag pull in this situation is going to be very, very important to Lisandro, who, of course, knows Ten Hag very well, has played under him. But I think the first team football situation is key as well. However, if Urian Timber doesn't think that he's going to be going in as first team, he's going to start off as a backup, maybe the same could be said for Lisandro Martinez. I know a lot of Man United fans want Harry Maguire to be moved on, but doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen. The thing is as well with Lisandro Martinez, I mean, you've got Gabriel, Ben White, Saliba's coming back. I don't know how much game time he's actually going to get at Arsenal. So if I'm Man United and we're going for him, that is what I'm throwing at him. We're getting rid of Bay. Phil Jones is on his way out. Lindelof isn't good enough. Maguire, I don't think will ever get back to being his best. And even then, some people don't think he's good enough. There's a genuine place for him. So I think it's going to come more down to the package and playing time more than anything else. United aren't attractive at all, is what's being said here. So Man United can't attract any players. I mean, De Jong's agreed to come. Again, by the way, the same journalist out of the Netherlands has also confirmed that, by the way. And just to give you an idea of what he said about the De Jong thing, because again, people, there's not a misconception. This fact is ignored on a regular basis by football fans. But this is what was said last night by the same journalist. He said Frankie De Jong and his agent are intentionally keeping quiet. The fact that Manchester United are making multiple offers confirms a player is open to joining them, as a club like Manchester United would never make offers or negotiate before confirmation that the player wants to join. That was said by one of the most prominent and decorated Dutch journalists in the world. And like he said, Frankie de Jong's just keeping quiet. He's answering some things, PR-based, and moving on. I think the way Frankie de Jong has answered questions so far this summer has put the rivals have really cottoned on to this. United unattractive. And it's good banter, but no real Man United fan believes that. Not in their heart of hearts, they don't. Sharek here says, Man United attracting De Jong within 4 weeks. Tielemans took you guys over a year. I hope Man United are looking at Martinez, but all this rave was about Timber and Torres. It could be Ajax using United to push Arsenal's bid. This is also true. That's a really great point. That's a really, really great point that Man United could be being used. What I would say, though, is that Mike Verveer, he's a very credible journalist. And do you want to know why he's credible? He's very a bit like Sacha Tavolieri from a Belgian point of view. Doesn't pretend to know about every transfer from every nation involving all types of people. Whenever a journalist pretends that he knows everything about all transfers, you can bet your bottom dollar they have no idea. They're basically aggregating news from other people. This guy really only talks about specific players from specific leagues and countries. That tells me he's credible. That fact there, that finite bit of information, I think is what makes it credible. So I don't think he would damage his credibility. I don't think he'd do a club's bidding, if that makes sense. That's just my take. But you do raise a very, very good point. You do raise a very, very good point. I never said that. The club's not attractive at all, Terry, so stop trying to make yourself feel better. They can't sign players. The club's in a hole. Just accept it. So, I mean, what you're saying is Man United will sign no players. Is that we won't sign a player of any quality this summer? I need to ask you, my guy, and I respect the opinion. It's no echo chambers. I'm not shooting you down. Why do you believe that Man United are going to not sign a single quality player this summer? Like, where have you got this notion from? Like, what has put that idea in your mind? I would absolutely love to know, like, just where you've got that from, if that makes sense. I would love to know, my friend. I'm intrigued by that take. I really am. So United's first team standards is the same level as Arsenal's backup now. Interesting. And again, that's a take that you may have, but if Lisandro Martinez is as good as the report suggests, he could fight his way into the Arsenal first team. And by the way, I don't agree personally that Arsenal Football Club should be buying backups. I don't think really. Every now and then you buy a backup. You know, you buy, and you know what a backup is when Liverpool have got a front three of Firmino, Mane, and Salah in their pomp, and you sign a Shaqiri, you know it's a backup. You're signing a player below the standard of your front three. But I don't think there's anything to suggest that Lisandro Martinez is like a standard below Ben White or Gabriel or Saliba. I think he's very much on par with them by what I read. Now, I haven't watched him play as regularly as everybody else. So I don't think Arsenal were in a position to be buying backups. Arsenal were in a position to be buying quality players to improve their overall squad, and you let people fight out. So again, a nice little take there, my friend. Purple Views is 100K for Nketiah. I suppose that's a dig back at the overpaying thing there. Morning, Terry. The prospect of United back to the top under Ten Hag will excite many players. It's the putting together of these players which has failed. Ten Hag will do better. Calm people. I'm not saying I'm saying you won't sign 2 or 3 decent ones. They need to sign 6 first-team players, 4 defenders, and 3 midfielders. Again, who's told you that's what Man United need to sign? Like you're telling me things. What I don't want to know what. I want to know why. The why in life is where the point is. Why do you think we need that many players now? And I think over the course of time, you might be right. I'm going to break this down. Man United probably do need over the next few windows 4 new defenders, 3 new midfielders. But I said this weeks ago, and I mean this. Maybe another social media content creator influenced you on this. United were never going to sign that many in one window. Man United won't be fixed in one window. And I think that's what people are kind of pulling on with Man United, is whoever we're linked to is, yeah, but we need more, we need more, we need more. It's like, we know, but it's going to take time. Think of it as weight loss. You know, I need to lose 2 stone. I want to get a 6-pack. I want bigger shoulders, bigger back, bigger arms. I'm just throwing basic stuff in there. Thighs bigger, leg day. Never ignore leg days. After 3 months, you're going to have lost. If you're training hard and eating well, you're going to lose weight. You're going to be looking better, but you won't be at the end yet. That doesn't mean you haven't progressed. And this is where I'll keep the same energy for Man United as I spoke about Arsenal last year. The progression can't be from being crap to winning a league. There have to be the step changes in between. So they have to have patience. So I think Man United fans are getting drawn into these debates all the time. But it ain't enough. It's not enough. Well, we know we're not fixing all the problems in one summer. So relax about it. Don't let rivals draw you out into believing that Rome's got to be built in a day. It's a nonsense. But there we go. I'm going to open up the lines, though, because I want you all to come on and have your say. On top of that, I want to give a bit of a Gabriel update as well. I showed earlier on, you saw the steal from Fabrizio, which stated that been told that Edu is prioritizing Gabriel Jesus. What's interesting about the Jesus news is this. On Thursday night, Friday morning, a couple of prominent Brazilian journalists, you had Jose Enrique, you had Grimes, who a lot of people spoke of the deal for Gabriel Jesus being done. Over the course of yesterday, I sent a few DMs and a few text messages to some of these Brazilian-based journalists, especially, that I've kind of been talking to, just saying, well, nothing's been kind of confirmed here in the UK or by the wider European press. What's your take? What's your thoughts? What's going on? Their response was very much their reporting from Gabriel Jesus's camp is that it's done or will be done, de facto done deal, essentially, that it's formalities now. Structural situations with the deal is what's really being focused on. That was kind of the breakdown of it. Again, this is a little bit different from what we're seeing from the British press that speak about it being close, but not quite being done yet. Now, of course, there was reports yesterday that Spurs and Tottenham may come out the woodwork and make a bid for this player. And Spurs are consistently being linked to other strikers. So we've known for it for a while. You know, I put it out there on Twitter, like Gabriel Jesus to Tottenham is on. It is an active, open deal that there is still an outside possibility until even when a deal is done, there's the possibility of it being hijacked still. Willian was a done deal with Tottenham. He ended up signing for Chelsea. In fact, Obi-Wan Mikel signed for Man United, held the shirt up, and still moved to Chelsea, right? So these things can still go in the other direction. But Arsenal were still the front runners. Arsenal were still the favourites. Jesus prefers Arsenal still over everybody else. Nothing over the weekend has changed in that regard. Now, if something goes wrong between Manchester City and Arsenal today, tomorrow, in the next few days, if Spurs get some other targets done, or maybe they lose out on a main target and want to strengthen elsewhere, there is this thin possibility that Gabriel Jesus could end up at Tottenham. There's a thin possibility that he could end up still at Chelsea. But Arsenal was so far in front, Tottenham and Chelsea have really held themselves back, because what they don't want to do now is start bidding and moving forward just to be publicly rejected. So Arsenal are still in a very good position as far as I'm aware. And again, this information isn't mine per se. This is coming from a number of other journalists that will be posting this out in the coming days. That's what they've said to me over the course of the weekend. So I know a lot of Arsenal fans were kind of panicky yesterday. I said that I would reach out to some of the journalists that I know and speak to. Of course, this week we'll have Ben Jacobs back on, I hope. Dean Jones will be on, but he's gone to LA or California. I think he's in LA, Santa Monica. So we're going to be doing a show kind of up. It's going to be his morning, but our night times this week where he's going to be coming on for us. So you will be getting those updates as well. But I want you to smash that like button for me this morning, my people. Let's get this show past 500 likes while we're live on the air. An update if you've just tuned in on the main headline today, and that is that Manchester United have switched their attention to Lisandro Martinez. Arsenal have, of course, had a 30 million euro bid for the Argentinian rejected. They are expected to go back in for him. Man United are now looking, but it is claimed that Ajax will only sell if there's an offer that they cannot refuse. Fabrizio was also updated on the situation as well. And in another tweet from him stated that Ajax don't want to sell either of Timber or Lisandro Martinez this summer. So it's going to take a lot of work from Manchester United and or Arsenal to get this deal done. Let's do some of your comments. Then we're going to open up the lines. Dusted Man United shopping at the half shelf whilst Super Mick Arteta's army are shopping at the clearance section, is what Sharek has got to say here. Arsenal have arguably more fickle fan base than United's. You protested for the best manager you guys ever had, then got sacked. I think there's a little... Got United fans and Arsenal fans going at each other now. And I get why, because this deal is something they both kind of want and after. Kieran's back. He says, no, but you don't even compete for trophies. They're absolutely useless. United have been useless. I don't think any Man United fan would deny you of that. But you're still not making a point. Why would you expect four defenders and three midfielders in one summer? I don't understand. I don't understand, my guy. Like, I'm not disagreeing. You're allowed to have your opinion, but I want you to explain why. Not just say what's. What's are very easy. Man United crap. Cool. Break down why for me. And how as well. How and why. That's where the detail is. I'd love to hear it. Or phone in when I put the link out in a minute, my guy. Legit want to hear from you. Terry, would Jesus go and sit on Spurs' bench when he is sitting on City's, or will he want to be a regular? Well, he wants to be a regular. That's why Arsenal that's one of the reasons that Arsenal Football Club are more attractive to him. And as I was saying on a space the other day with the whole Tottenham, Arsenal, who's more attractive. Yes, there's heritage and the way you're playing, but it's what you can offer a player that really does matter. It's very, very key indeed. Very, very key indeed. Phil here says a DM is a must for United. They haven't really had one since Carrick. Well, this is where this is not a dig, Phil. do your reading on why Ten Hag wants Frankie de Jong. He wants to play him in a Michael Carrick-esque role, central, in the middle of a 3, or as part of a 2, controlling the tempo of the game. There are more than one way, as they say, to skin a cat, and that's very much going to be, it looks like it's going to be his approach. He wants Ajax players because they are accustomed to his strategy and trust them to help the others to get used to it, the formation and tactics. I understand why he's going for players that have played for him before. I absolutely agree. Gigi here says Lisandro is perfect for United. Oberone says, if you had to pick 3 positions to upgrade for United, what would they be, Terry? Well, midfield, centre-back, and a goal-scoring attacker. For these 3 reasons. We don't have enough centre-back. We don't have a midfield. And since Mason Greenwood was rightfully moved on, there's a new hole that's been created. Man United didn't think at the beginning of January this year that they would have an issue striker-wise going into this summer, because the thought was that you moved Greenwood central, but he's not there anymore. So goals are one of the most important elements of the team. You don't score goals, you don't win, irrespective of how good you are at the back. But we need to improve all those areas. And my view is this: I would rather see us start to fix all areas and add to all those areas each window for the next 2 to 3 years, rather than just fix the defense, but then still have a terrible midfield and terrible attack, or just fit the attacks instead of a weak midfield. I think you've got to do all areas at once here. It's kind of like you're essentially, the ship's still sailing and there's holes in it so it could sink. You got to fix the ship while still sailing, which means you can't take everybody off the duties of keeping the masts up, rowing the boat. Do you know what I mean? Cooking the food. Like, you have to keep the ship in operation while still fixing the holes. You know, we can't park up in a harbor, not play football for a year and a half, and rework on things. Like a boxer or a fighter might take a year away from actually fighting and work on new techniques, work on something new, and then come back. You can't do that as a football team. You've got to keep moving in the same direction. But there we go. Right, links coming out now. People to phone in and have your say. Facebook are killing it again today. Nearly 700 likes already. You people are amazing over there. Here on YouTube, 229, which ain't bad. But I think YouTube can catch up with Facebook right about now by giving that like button a big fat smash. I'm going to share the call-in link now for you to come on and have your say. Remember, the Top 6 show is back later on today, a little bit later than normal, as I've got a tea party at my daughter's nursery for Father's Day. They're having all the dads in today for a little tea party, which I'm very much looking forward to. Get to spend the afternoon with my daughter. Well, I was with my daughter and my son yesterday, but you know what I mean, at her school. She's a bit of a show-off, so she'll love it. There we go. The link's pinned in the live comment section, my people. Call in now. Footy Chats, good morning to you, my friend. I'd like to also know where everybody is watching from this morning. I want to know the city, not the country, but the city that you're in. And if you don't think I'll know where the city is, put the country in as well, because I'm not the best with geography, so let me know. I'd fix 1 centre-back and 2 midfielders. I think that's a pretty good bet there, my friend. Atletico brought in 21 players in one window. Why can't United? 21 players, did they? When did they bring in 21 players? Legitimately, when did they do that? When did they bring in 21 players? Like, I'm asking because I didn't know they did that. So again, it's not a dig. That's me being that's me wanting to be educated. When did they bring in 21 players? I would love to know. And were they all signings? Or someone said in 2019. Wow, I knew they brought in quite a lot back then. Was it really 21? Let's have a little look here. 2019. Okay. What, the 2019-20 season? 2019-20, yeah, give me the season year, not the actual calendar year. What year? Show me. So someone type it in the comment section, please. Rochester in Kent. Nice. Sentinel Island. See, I don't know where that is. Cape Town. Nice. Man's in London. My city. Good evening here from China. Hope you're good, my friend. No one's put in a year yet for me. I need a year. What year did they buy 21 players? What season? Denmark, Angola. Nice. Another Londoner. Come on. So, okay, the 2019-20 season, they bought, you're saying they bought 21 players. So, the reason I ask, I'm currently on the transfer market website. I'm not discrediting what anyone's telling me. But on the website, it says in 2019-20, they bought in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players. 9 with Hector. Yannick Carrasco as well. 10, sorry. It says 10, not 21. I'd love to know what season they bought 21 players in. Like, purchased 21 players. I just don't remember someone doing that. Now, it's a lot of players, by the way. So, yeah, of course, United could do it. But it's getting all the positions fixed and needed. So, yeah, I don't think United will do it. Did it work for Ati? Did they win the league? I know they won the league a couple of years ago. I don't know. But, yeah, maybe it could work. But are we then looking at a team that's done it and it's worked once rather than looking at the overarching, like, how many teams have bought 7, 8, 9 players in 1 year and it's gone bang and worked straight away? I think you might be there. I think we might be looking for rocking horse poo, to be honest. Maguire is the new Pogba in that he needs to leave in order for United to move forward. Varane and Maguire are incompatible and something must give way. To be fair with you, I hear a lot of people say this, to be honest with you. I hear a lot of people say this, so I'm not surprised to see a comment like this. And I kind of get it. I kind of get it as well. You now look at the situation with, look back at the Pogba situation. I think to myself, we should have moved him on so much quicker, shouldn't we? Like, there was no point keeping him for the last 2 or 3 years. We didn't win anything. He got a lot of abuse. We didn't get any money for him. you know, hindsight's obviously a very lucrative commodity, but there we go. We're going to be getting Samuel on the show this morning. We've got young Tommy. We've got Chris to come on as well. Luca's going to have his say. KC's backstage as well. I'm sure KC's here to say something. Yeah, I checked 2019-20, and I'm only going off the transfer market website. So, again, I'm not suggesting that that's the bill. If you've got a link to the website that shows the 21 transfer signings made by Ati, I'd love to see it. Because as far as I can see, they signed João Felix, they signed Marco Llorente, Mario Hermoso, Kieran Trippier, Lodi. They signed Felipe. They signed, Nicholas Ibanez, maybe that's pronounced. I'm terrible at reading. This is even harder from Benfica B. If we sign someone from the Benfica B team, Man United fans would be fuming. Carrasco was in there. Hector Herrera was a free transfer as well. But send me that link, please, my people. Someone DM that to me this morning. I want to see it. I want to see it now. I've just sent you the link. Okay, you sent me a link. I assume you DM that to me. Aha, I've got the link. I've got it. No, I haven't got a link. I haven't got no one sent me a link yet. But anyway, right, I'm going to go to calls. First on the show this morning with me is going to be young Tommy. Young Tommy, Man United trying to hijack and gate crash your Lisandro Martinez deal. Give me your thoughts, mate.
Yeah, not good, man. Yeah, we need another. Yeah, we need competition for our centre back. So Gabriel and Ben White need competition. Obviously, I think he can give them competition. He's not here to be backup. He's here to get in our lineup, which is true. So yeah, he looks quality, good on the ball. He can tackle, he can header, and he's got a good pass in him. So yeah, I just watched him. I'm thinking, yeah, he looks good as well. So I think we do need to get him. So yeah, I think he'll be a good signing for us, and hopefully you guys can keep your paws off him.
Let me ask you a question. If Man United and Arsenal go head to head, are you confident of Mikel Arteta and Arsenal getting Martinez ahead of Manchester United? How do you feel about it?
Not confident because you guys have got a good manager, and no offense to Arteta, no offense to him, but you guys might probably get him. I think you guys might probably take him, but I think we have to try and push you to get him. Hopefully we can get him, but I'm not too sure, but hopefully we can get him as well. Try and push you to get him.
Fair enough, young Tommy. Appreciate the call, my friend, and we'll chat again soon. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. What I kind of don't get about the Lisandro Martinez deal is this. What of Saliba? Genuine question. Is there going to be enough game time at Arsenal next year for 4 quality young centre-backs, for them all to get game time and to develop? Or is this a case of buying the 4, having the 4 there, you've already got 3, and kind of by the end of the year, like 1 will go? You're not going to probably get rid of Ben White after spending 50 million, but is it almost like 1 will go at the end of the year? You'll work out who the best 3 are and move them on? Or is it a case of, no, we need 4? I want to get your thoughts and I want to get your feedback. And the reason I asked that question is because all 4 will see themselves as starting quality. Maguire has missed 15 games since he joined. United have won just 1 of those games. If you think Maguire's the problem, football ain't for you, is what's been said there by CM. CM, they have a big claim. Terry, who has more pulling power, Man United or Arsenal? I really do think it depends on the situation. So Manchester United, bigger club, more money. I would say a better manager. But Arsenal are in a better situation with their build. If they've got the first team opportunities for you, they're there. They can also spend big money and they've got a more settled situation. They're also still a massive club as well and they are attractive. It's going to be, look at the Lisandro Martinez situation. If Ten Hag's saying you're going to be one of my starting centre-backs, if Arteta's saying you're going to start on the bench and work your way into the team, it's not about the size of the club, and it may not necessarily be about the manager. It's the package you're offering, the squad status that you're offering. So I think you have to weigh all those things up. Some Arsenal fans may think they've got bigger pool, they're more attractive, and that's absolutely fair. I think it's more about, though, the overarching package that's being offered, if I'm being honest with you. Terry, we need Martinez to cover left back more than centre back. That's also a very good point there, Smith, that he's very versatile. So this could be, and Man United's point of view as well, that they need fullback cover and they need centre back cover. So I think there could be a big battle on here between both these clubs. I think there's a position needed for both of them, and I think it's about the package that's going to be offered. On the show next, we're going to get KC, and then we're going to have Mo on the show. What are you saying, KC?
Hey, hi, Terry.
How you doing? What's your thoughts about Lisandro Martinez? Arsenal or Man United? Who do you think would win the battle?
Yeah, I have seen him. I watch a bit of Eredivisie. He's okay at best. I don't rate him that high.
Okay at best. He's not a very good player in your opinion.
I mean, he is young, so with defenders, you never know. Maybe,
fair enough.
I think you should go for him because I think Ten Hag knows him and maybe he can develop him. See, this is the same with Frankie de Jong, right? He kind of moved into a system at Barcelona where he couldn't fit. So, and I believe that is the same thing with Martinez. So I think, as Habib says, they need daddy.
Listen, I hear you, KC. Thanks for calling in, my friend. I appreciate it, my guy. And we'll speak again soon. Thanks for your support on the channel, by the way. It means a lot, top man. Thank you. Thank you. Regular super chatter there and caller. And maybe this is what it is. They need daddy, as people would say. They want that system. But it's interesting because Frankie de Jong has said, I want to be played in my correct position. I want to be played in the style and in a position that gets the best out of me. Ironically, that's what Manchester United have needed for years now. They really, really have. I'm pretty sure he's left-footed, which is the profile of player which we've been trying to get. I mean, is he left-footed? Yes, he is left-footed. I was reading his profile here. I read that earlier. Having a left-footed centre-back playing on the left-hand side of the centre-back would help us. Maguire being right-footed, but so having to shift his weight when he's on the left-hand side is part of the issues that we have sometimes. I think that's a really good point that you make there, my friend. Martinez can play in multiple positions. I actually see him playing the Partey role if Partey gets injured. He can also cover for Tierney, is what Daps has got to say. And I think it's a fair point. I think that's a fair point. Arteta years ago said he wants to have 5 centre-backs who can compete. And last season, we had 3. At the end of the season, we had only Rob Holding at the same point because Gabriel was on a red and Ben White was injured. Well, that's a fair point if he wants to 5. I mean, it's hard to hold on to like 4 or 5 top-quality centre-backs, especially if you're not winning the major trophies. But, of course, that's what you're striving to get back towards. So maybe this is all part of the process. And as we've seen with Arsenal this year, you are going for it. If you're a Gooner, that is, by the way, I assume you are. Like, you are going for it this year. You can't get away from what Arsenal are trying to do, what Arsenal are trying to achieve, and where they're trying to get to. You know, you're really trying to do your best to get to the very highest level again. And you're going for it. And if you pull off, you know, when you complete Jesus, if you get Youri Tielemans, if you land Rafinha, you're working on all these deals simultaneously. If you bring in Martinez, you are going to be spending close to £200 million on your squad. So he wants a big, strong, thick squad. He wants to try and win that Europa League, get back into the top four, and then you're set to challenge for a title. Or that's like the step after that is only challenge for a title. That's the only way that Arsenal can think. I think Arsenal will win the race, and the media drag United or Arsenal is better positioned right now. Arsenal are a better position right now, better project than Manchester United is what Jay believes. He believes that Arsenal will win the race. Martinez's aerial dual success is better than all the centre-backs at Arsenal, is what Gigi Lee has got to say here. Terry, Barcelona, Liverpool, City go for possession-based players. Now United are coming to join the party, and that pushes Arsenal to the back, is what Wizard has got to say here. Terry ducking us. I have no idea what you mean. Ducking you how? It makes no sense. No sense to me as a comment. It's a very even battle for the player between the two clubs. Just hope wifey wanting to live in London plays a role, not pushing Manny down. Great city, but London is London. London does have Paul. There's no doubt about that London has Paul in that regard. But listen, the parts of Cheshire that these people live in is amazing. Terry, does Martinez being 5'8" become a concern in the Premier League? Not if he's good at competing in the air. I don't know. Potentially, like if he's marking Haaland from crosses, yeah, it's a problem maybe. But I think it'll be all right. You know, you've got George Koundé that isn't particularly tall. Is he really only 5'8"? Is that really his height? Oh yeah, he is. Yeah, 1.75 m. Jeez, that is quite short. I'm sure he does all right. Yeah, I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure. No defender would want to play alongside Maguire. De Gea and Varane clearly have enough of him, and Shaw will be tackled every game by Maguire, is what Anthony has got to say here. Man United will beat Arsenal for wages, throw more money at it, is what Neil Gunner has got to say. In fairness, if Man United ever beat anybody to a player, the default response is, you must have paid more. Sharrick here of a comment says, Man United and Nottingham Forest confident to get Dean Henderson loan deal done this week. Talks in progress, personal terms agreed. Man United getting rid of players will also speed up the purchases. By the way, this is also going to be a big week for the Frankie de Jong situation. Personal terms are no problem. They are agreed, whichever phrase you like. I don't care. Same thing. If they're no problem, it means they've been discussed. Some people look at the agreed bit being when they're signed, and you can't officially sign until after the clubs agree a fee, but you don't agree fees generally until someone's agreed. Yeah, it's all a mess. But United need to move a few people on. Eric Bay's name has come up recently that United are probably willing to accept around 8 to 9, maybe 10 million to get rid of him, but do want a little bit more. Bay leaves. You know, AWB is wanted by a few teams. If a couple of these sales happen, you'll see some movement. I was about to put Mo on, but Mo seems to have disappeared from behind the scenes. If you want to get yourselves back on, mate, it'd be good to hear from you on this. The Aussie Gooner says, I don't think United are chucking money around anymore. I think Erik is building a different team in Manchester with a different mentality. Yeah, look, it's whatever we do, we're good. Until United start winning again, United fans are going to have to deal with the banter that comes with the failings from the past. It's as simple as that. Until we change our image, we're not through positive action. People are going to do it. The fact that the irony is we're not trying to not overpay for De Jong, and then everyone's like, but then in the same breath about other, and we're called cheap, no budget, we've got no money, and then the next minute we're overpaying. Like the banter all just changed. Like there's no logic to it. It's just fan banter. And if you're a United fan, you can't take it. Get out the kitchen, bro. get out the kitchen. But yeah, I don't know. One sec. Let's have a little look here. What's being... Pedro. Pedro has put a red badge next to the Netherlands flag. I have seen that. Henderson is a good deal if it's an obligation to buy. Yeah, I'm not too sure if it is. I'll have to read through that. I don't think anything's been put out there. Ben Jacobs reporting that Lukaku's loan fee for Inter is agreed. Yeah, I retweeted that this morning, and you'll see once Lukaku's gone, I think you will see Chelsea increase their activity in the transfer market as well. I'm very, very sure they will. They're going to follow what a lot of the American-owned clubs will do. There'll be a sell to buy policy, because you won't want to have a squad with 3 or 4 players that are not playing, being paid millions and millions of pounds a month. And think about it logically as fans. I know we have this. Fans have been taught by what I call by poor content creators and bad journalists to believe that it doesn't matter how much money you spend because it isn't your money. And of course it matters. Let's say Chelsea don't get rid of their deadwood, and they have 5 players earning a combined £2 million a week. That's maybe a bit much. Just say £2 million a week of deadwood not playing football. What's £2 million in a year? How much money are you hemorrhaging? It's £100 million you're spending on wages for players you don't need. Where do you think that £100 million in wages comes from? By the way, it's why net spend is a myth. But where do you think that 100 million comes from? So that's $1 million a week. It's 52 million. If it's £500,000 a week in deadwood, it's 26 million pounds still. Money doesn't grow on trees. So you have to get... People think often it's the transfer fee. Like, clubs don't often focus... The transfer fee is sometimes the least of their worries. It's the salaries of these players. It's a massive hemorrhage. And imagine this. Imagine next summer. Say you don't get rid of the deadwood. You just buy new players. And you hemorrhage £30 million in wages for unwanted players. And then next year, you're in a bidding war for a superstar. And you miss out by £10 million. That money for that deadwood will stop you from getting a star in the future. So demand your club gets the right price. And reject this notion that it doesn't matter because it's not your money. It is your money. It's your club's money. And you should spend it wisely. You should be prudent. You should be economical, and you should be sensible, because it doesn't grow on trees. And it's one of the reasons why Liverpool have been so successful. It really is. Why they've been able to compete with City. Absolutely. Listen, people, 2,100 people watching, but let's get this stream up past 600 likes while we're live, please. Let's get that done. Breaking news, Bruce Buck, Chelsea FC has stepped down. Yeah, I think you're going to see quite a few people from the senior members of staff at Chelsea moving away. A recap for all the new people tuning in. Manchester United are taking their attention away from Irian Timber and onto Lisandro Martinez, who Ten Hag was known for a while. Arsenal could return for another offer. They made a €30 million bid, which was rejected. It's going to take a bigger offer than that. But Man United and Arsenal are expected to go into a battle for this player. Arsenal will push again, according to the brilliant Fabrizio Romano, but they are prioritizing getting the Gabriel Jesus deal done, dusted, and over the finish line. That is the news as it stands. After this, we're going to go to more calls. Luca's coming on, who's an Arsenal fan. Let's go.
Big up, man. Big up.
How you doing, Luca? What's your take on this? A lot of Arsenal fans were excited about the link at the back end of last week. United reportedly in on this deal now as well. What's your thoughts, bro?
The thing is with this deal, right? Like, I'm hearing that he's like meant to be like a really, really good player, like Martinez. I don't watch the Dutch league, but seeing Manchester United coming in, I think it will make more sense for him going there because of the whole Ten Hag situation. He can also play in different positions. Like, for me, I personally think we will get him because I look at it thinking that I think Arteta is going to put him as a left back because I know he could play as a defensive midfielder, but I think left back is probably a better position because if he comes in and also plays as a centre back, then what's going to go on with Saliba? With Saliba actually wanted to stay at the football club. That is what I'm quite concerned about.
Yeah, look, and obviously someone shared a link a minute ago saying, well, Arteta's always wanted to have 5 centre backs, but I kind of agree. I get where you're coming from. It's almost, but if you've got 4 of them that are sort of looked at as first team quality, how do you keep them all happy?
To be honest, like, to make them happy is, I would personally think like you have to like use them. I would personally use them like all the time. Like for me, if Martinez comes in, then you could play Saliba, because personally, in my opinion, I don't think Ben White isn't good enough, in my opinion. So I think Saliba should play with Gabriel, have Martinez in the left back role if Kieran Tierney gets injured, and then obviously have a right back, knowing whoever's going to be our right back next season, Tomiyasu probably, or depending if we're going to get a cover. So personally, in my opinion, Terry, that's what I would do.
It's a good shout. I mean, one thing I will say, and it's been brought up by a few other people already, is that there is this notion that he could be used as cover at fullback positions as well, left back predominantly, which I think is a key component with this guy because he is flexible and he works in that way. So I think there's a number of positions and areas that he can be used in, which is going to be important as well. If Man United and Arsenal go head to head, who do you fancy to win the battle?
I think we will, because notice that Manchester United, I know a lot of people might say Manchester United because Ten Hag's had that good relationship, but I personally think we will, because is there any other left back or any other position we're actually going to go and strengthen? Because he's probably the only target what we're going to go and get, and I personally think we will get him in, but I think it's going to be done probably within the next few weeks.
Fair enough. Luca, great call, my friend. Thanks for coming on and having your say. I appreciate that.
Thank
you. Arsenal fans feeling confident, and rightfully so. It's been, for me, I mean, I got called out by people the other day when I said that Arsenal have had a good start to the transfer window. People are like, no, they haven't. They've signed one player. What are you talking about? Why are you praising them so much? I don't know. I think they have. I think Arsenal started this transfer window very, very well. They're very close to 2 or 3 colossally good signings for them, improving that squad, improving the age, bringing in the age experience, as I mentioned, and the quality and everything else to help nurture these young kids. I think it's been a very, very good season so far for them. Mo's on the show now. What are you saying, Mo?
Morning, how's it going, mate?
I'm very, very well. United now in for Lisandro. Give me your thoughts, bro.
I thought it was Timber. I was looking forward to Timber, but it looks like that deal was off now. I don't know that much about him. I know that he's the Ajax player, Terry. He's 5'8".
Yes.
I've not seen that much of him. I'm a bit concerned about 5'8". For me, I prefer 5'11" or 6'4" to be centre backs. 5'8" is a bit, I don't know, a bit short. But I'm sure that he's playing in the Ajax system under Erik Ten Hag, so Ten Hag knows what's he getting. But yeah, I just want a signing now. Just any signing will do for me. Just get the ball rolling, and then we can start moving forward. But you said between Arsenal and United. For me, it's always going to be United. Not just because I'm a United supporter, but the history of our football club and everything. And I think between Arsenal and United, this season, Terry, one of the teams will slowly start pulling away from the other. I think this season. Like this season, you'll see, we've always said Arsenal are Banter, United is Banter FC and all that. One team this season will start to pull away from the other team. And there'll be, you start to see a progression now. Someone has to pull away from someone. And I think Arsenal might do it this season, Terry, with the business they've done. They look good.
Well, I think what you pull on, which I think is absolutely spot on, is very much this element of Spurs, Arsenal could go on to another level this year. So if Chelsea need to improve so they can stay ahead, and Man United needs to improve so they can catch up or stay abreast, stay with them. If nothing's permanent in football, but if Man United or any one of our teams doesn't do the right business or starts slowly or has a bad season, it will be painful if everybody else improves. So the great thing about all this business that's going on is if all these clubs land the majority of their signings, it'd be really nice to start a campaign where nobody has an excuse. Nobody has, oh yeah, but my manager didn't get backed, or my manager didn't get this, or you did that. It'd be nice to go into it, and all the fan base is going, well, I'm confident with this squad. Let's go do it. That's what I want to happen, and that's what I'm excited about. But yeah, still lots of work to be done, of course, by Man United and Arsenal in this window.
Can I add one point, Terry?
Yeah, go on, mate.
It's hard to play catch up for Man United. If I was Man United board, it's hard to, as we've seen in his history, once you don't get your signings and once you mess up the transfer window, your season goes pear-shaped. And it's hard to play catch-up.
Yes, well, we need to get the signings in, but we'll see what happens. I think we'll be okay, to be fair. I think we'll be okay. Listen, mate, appreciate you coming on, having your say. Top man.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. The Aussie Gooner is on next, having his say. What are you saying, my friend?
Mate, it's an interesting time, isn't it? Man United and Arsenal, Shambhala show, eh? Both of us trying to go for the same player, both of us needing players in. I mean, both teams at the moment in some sort of rebuild phase. I think United more so. But one thing I wanted to get across for United fans is it looks like for me it's a bit of a swing. I don't see Erik ten Hag going in for players that are going to expect top dollar. I think what he's trying to build is some sort of balance. Don't get me wrong, I know he's going to be going for decent players, but I think the problem that Man United have had in the past is big wages, big names, big ego, and bullshit performances, right? Mm-hmm. And not fit to wear the shirt. I think your current manager is looking and saying, if you're a good player, you're coming in and we'll chit-chat about how you're going to play and how you're going to start. And I think he's just saying, look, I like him, but not for that money. I like him for that, not for that money. Just like the Darwin Núñez situation. I like him, but not for that money. And I think he's a smart businessman, to be perfectly honest. There's no point wasting money on a name that might do a job or might ruffle feathers within the squad. It's about building a team. You know what I mean?
I agree. Look, there's a comment here that says, then why is he going for...
because, can I jump in?
Actually, what I will say is this: he's not going to spend 90 million. The maximum we would spend, if we paid Barca's asking price, it's about 70 million. So, this is my point. People are adding 20 millions on to try and inflate the amount we're spending. If we paid the maximum, it would be 70. We're probably going to get him for about 60. So you're talking 30 million. You're probably adding on to the price there to make it sound bad. It's crazy.
Look, there's no English tax on De Jong, right? Plain and simple. There ain't no English tax on De Jong. And to be honest, I agree with that. 62 to 63 million is what you're going to be paying. And the reason why you're going to be going for a player like that, because if you get a player like De Jong, just like you were saying earlier, this takes the pressure off Maguire, takes the pressure off Luke Shaw, a kind of guy that can carry the ball between the defenders, through the midfield and forward. The ball carrier that you've always wanted, and also defensive-minded. So why wouldn't you go for De Jong? Right now, you still got some clout. Right now, United have still got some attraction as being Manchester United. They haven't been irrelevant for that long. So now you need to, making a signing like De Jong isn't a signing like Pogba. It's a signing for a player who gets on the pitch, does the business, and he's going to perform his duties. And to be perfectly honest, defensively, right, you guys were woeful. Absolutely woeful. But with De Jong in the mix, Maguire hasn't got the pressure on him. Varane's going to look better. And if you're stuck with Luke Shaw, right, it's going to be a lot more solid. It's all about fluidity. If the ball gets stuck between the defense and the midfield and you allow the other teams to hold their shape, you guys aren't going to have a chance in fucking hell next season. And that's why De Jong comes in. And that's why if I was a Man United fan, I'd want De Jong. But it doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to go for star-studded players afterwards.
Yeah, and I think what you pulled on was very, very true. It's a mixture. Now, again, 65 million plus add-ons were turned out. Yeah, again, you're confusing euros and pounds. It was 65 million euros, which is 55 million pounds. We're speaking in pounds. If you're speaking euros, again, 90 million is above what Barca have set. So, my guy, you are adding money on. United have with 55 million plus add-ons. It's probably going to be somewhere in the region around the mid-60s. But yeah, you're right. This is the thing. It is about balance. And we need some star-studded players. We need... What people are ignoring about the Frankie de Jong thing is that he wants to build the whole system through him, how Fergie did with Michael Carrick. And Michael Carrick was very much the unsung hero of that period of Man United's history from sort of 06 through to like sort of 2013. He was such a key component in how we played football. And he wasn't a destroyer. He wasn't an enforcer, but he read the game. And that's where De Jong is. That's what De Jong is seen as by Erik ten Hag. And interestingly, he hasn't been used in that role at Barca. And he himself has said that how I play it with the Netherlands and Ajax was very different to how they used me at Barcelona. And he's kind of alluded to the fact he wants to go back to that. It's one of the selling points Like I said earlier, who's more attractive, Man United or Arsenal? Money will play a part, history plays a part, but it will be around what you're promised. If Arsenal was saying you're backup and Man United are saying, we see you as a starter, I just think Man United will get him. If it's the other way around, then we're saying, listen, you're going to be behind Maguire and Varane, but your manager's saying legitimately, you're going to switch roles a little bit, but you're going to be one of my main stars. He'll pick Arsenal. I don't understand the conflict in that. Does that make sense? I think that, yes, money will play a part, but both of us are going to pay him decent money. Man United might pay a little bit more because we earn more money as a club. In terms of going for him, who do you think will win the battle, though, my friend? Who do you reckon is going to come out on top in this one?
For are we talking about Martinez? Or are we talking who are we talking about? De Jong?
No, Lisandro Martinez.
Okay, Martinez, to be honest, I hate to say it, as much as I want to see him at Arsenal, I honestly see him at Man United, mainly because I think he'll be starting. I think he's going to be sitting on that left-hand side, and I think he's going to be starting, and I think he's going to be like, you know what? Frankie's going to be beside me. I've got Erik in the background. I'm going to be starting the lineup left back for Manchester United. There's not going to be much competition with Luke Shaw. I think it'd be stupid for him to come to Arsenal to sit on the bench. Plain and simple. Because we all know that Tierney's going to go ahead of him. And why would he want to come to Arsenal and sit on the bench? He might as well go to Man United. Maybe make less money or more money and start. Because he's doing bits over Shaw. It's a no-brainer. You want to play or you want to sit? You know what I mean?
I think Man United have gotten. I think that's where Man United advantage is. I really, really do. And but if Arsenal are offering a first-team place, where I am concerned is that you obviously further along in your kind of in your. I mean, I look at it this way: if you get all the players in this summer that you want, the rebuild's complete. It's now go and deliver. And that's what I find really interesting about Arsenal's situation, because I was watching Aguna streaming. I was watching Jess stream the other day. And there were people in her comment section that were like, "Oh, I'm really scared because of this window, though." And she's like, "What do you mean?" And they said, "Well,
window just open."
What they said is that if we sign all these players, they were like, "I'm scared because it means there's going to be expectations on us to perform." And Jesse's face was like, "Exactly." It's almost like I honestly think there's some fans of all our clubs. It isn't just an Arsenal thing, who kind of enjoy not being good enough because you're not expected to do anything. And for me, that's weird. That is so weird,
Dude, we are Arsenal fans, not Spurs. Do you understand? We did have glory once upon a time. I know what it is to win the Premier League, you know what I mean? An FA Cup and all that. So there is levels in this, and there's aspirations in winning trophies. Now, if we'd won nothing, right, then of course you're not going to have any expectations but to compete. But since we've won some bits and pieces, most Arsenal fans are going to have expectations. And to be perfectly honest, it's all about putting pressure on players. If you're expected to perform, you're going to bloody perform. If you ain't got no excuses like, oh, well, we can finish fourth or make Champions League and whoop-de-doo for me, then of course you'll get to fourth and you'll kick back. But if you're pressed and pushed to perform in every single game like it means your life, hence the Wenger days, hence the Fergie days, then those players will push and play and win those big honors. There's levels in this when it comes to being a fan and becoming and when it comes to clubs. And to be perfectly honest, I think Man United, yes, they're in a build. I know Arsenal are further ahead, but I think I do believe that there's going to be a massive change at Man United in regards to not spending silly money, but spending smart money. Now, there's a difference between spending lots of money and spending smart money, right? And Liverpool have done that, and Fergie, let's be honest, used to do that. Mate, Fergie didn't burn money.
I couldn't agree more. My guy, quoting what I said on Twitter, saying Man United are preparing a second official bid for Frankie de Jong, 70 million rising to 80. I'm sorry to do this, my friend, but listen, the conversion rate is here. 70 million euros comes in at 60 million pounds, okay? If we then pay the add-ons, if we do the add-ons, it comes in at 68 million. So, I mean, my friend, I don't understand your point. You're quite literally agreeing with me, but disagreeing. Like, it will be, I honestly think Man United in the end, in our entirety, will end up paying between 60 and 65 million-ish for him. By the way, those add-ons will fluctuate as exchange rate change. It will be under 70. I don't understand what this guy's point is. It's like, this is the issue that Man United have. We spend a lot of money. Like someone's Sancho's on 350 a week. And it's like, no, he isn't. Sancho's total salary per week, if he's starting games, scoring goals, and we're winning with bonuses, will inflate to about 350. But his base is lower than that. No, it's not. Trust me when I say I know. And I've seen this with so many Man United players. There was a time where they tried to push a narrative that Zlatan Ibrahimovic was earning 450 grand a week at Man United. And this was in the newspapers. And he banked with my bank. So we knew what he was earning. But there's a misconception. What sometimes happens is documents can be leaked. So bank statements sometimes get leaked. Not from the bank, I will add. Like, people go through bins and all sorts or find things. Whatever.
Oh, shit. Okay.
But what essentially happens is this. Footballers get paid monthly, not weekly. But people are stupid. So they'll see like a statement where they'll see a player's salary. Like, oh my God, look how much it is. And then they equate it as a weekly salary, but that's the monthly amount. So if you think about whatever they thought he was earning, you divide it by 4. So the base,
and if there's any bonuses involved, in other words, if he scored them goals, he made them appearances, blah blah, we're not going to count that. We're not going to take that into consideration. Of course not. Why would we? Come on now. Like, look, end of the day, Frankie De Jong, and I'm going to say it as an Arsenal fan, I rate this guy, and I'm jealous you guys are going to get him. Right? I rate this guy, and I've rated him for years. To be perfectly honest, 67 million pound bargain. Now, let me tell you another thing about Man United. They're holding their cards close to their chest. Explain this to me, right? Let's do business, right? What would be the point of me going out there saying I've got 250 million pounds to spend? Frankie De Jong now is worth 90 million. True or not? I'm not going to go out and tell you what I've got, what kind of cards I'm holding. I'm going to say I've got no money. I'm only spending a bit. Bro, how do I know you guys aren't going to go and spend 150 million pounds this frigging transfer window? I don't know this. No one does.
Bro, do you know what's funny, right? The only thing about Richard Arnold coming out and speaking on Saturday that annoyed me was that he kind of revealed a hand a little bit that we've got money. And that's why I don't think he might have thought it was going to be recorded, but he maybe thought, but these are United fans. They're not going to be silly enough to leak that part, because why would you want to tell the world what we've got? I've loved the banter from rivals going, you're broke, you got no money. I'm like, do you think Man United are broke? Like, it's stupidity. It really, really is. He's back again. He says, Terry, did I say pounds? No. You left the denomination sign out to make it look
presume
higher.
that.
Yes. Well, I think we presumed it because you implied it. We get what you're doing, bro. It was a nice attempt. You tried. You've taken a big L today. Like, I bet your bum is stinging, bro. You got to go big L today, G.
Is he a Man United fan? I'm not a Man United fan. Obviously, Arsenal look behind me. But either way, do you give a shit if it's 67 or 68 million pounds? Who gives a fuck what you get him for, right? As long as he's sitting in the midfield in front of Maguire. You know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, maybe not in front of Maguire, but I get you.
Well, you're not. Let's be honest. You're not going to get rid of the magic man, Superman. Come on now. Come on. We got to have some laughs over next season. I need him in there so I can smile.
Mate,
okay.
Do you know what's funny about Maguire or players like him?
There's a lot of things funny about.
Yeah, there is. There's loads about Maguire. I hear you, G. Do you know what? There are going to be some players though at Man United who cook under this new manager, because it typically happens. I mean, I tweeted last night watching a picture of Sancho train. I put it out there for a little bit of wind up, really. But I just said Sancho, Donny, Bruno, and Rashford, I honestly believe will do bits under Erik ten Hag. And I did it because I knew I was waiting for, we see you slip Rashford in there. I'm like, I think some of these guys will. My dad is a Spurs fan. There's no dog in the fight. He's like Maguire. He's like, Maguire's going to do really well under Ten Hag. And it wouldn't surprise me. Would I be shocked in a year going, oh, look how good Maguire was again? Because there is a player in there. When he plays for England, in a not a really good system that I enjoy watching, but in a, generally speaking, up until this Nations League, we've been fair for the past 3 or 4 years. He's looked pretty good. But yeah, listen, it's going to be an interesting one to see how it kind of transpires. And the window just feels like it's really starting to pick up pace and cook now. And yeah, I'm just excited about it, if I'm being absolutely honest. And, Arsenal are doing bits. United are doing well. United will do well in this market. I think Chelsea will start now that Lukaku's on his way out, because they have to. I just can't imagine Chelsea not doing anything at all. It's going to be a crazy one, mate. But listen, I appreciate you coming on, my friend, and having you heard. Definitely call in again, mate. Really good chat. Viewers as well, thank you. We're back this afternoon with more Top 6 show this afternoon. It'll be early evening, the Top 6 show, so make sure you're tuning in. Please hit the like button before you leave. Also, in the link in the description below, go and check out the Football Terrace Clips channel. So many great clips on there. There's probably bits from loads of shows that you miss because you don't get to watch us live all the time. I've shared that in the live comment section now. So go check out the Clips channel when you get a moment, people. But until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And I'll see you all again very, very soon. Peace.